thank y'all for tuning in to my channel. I'm headed out to a job right now. It is Sunday morning, and I had went to this job Friday around like 5 o'clock. Ended up doing a little bit of diagnosis, and a plumber had been there in the past, had replaced the bladder tank and the tank T, and told the customer that the well was dry as to why they weren't getting any water. Well, that diagnosis is incorrect. I tested for voltage. I got voltage at the switch, and I tested for amperage, and I got no amperage. So there's either a broken wire down the well or the pump is bad. So we're gonna go there today, and I'm gonna pull this thing out and see how old it is. Might do a little bit more troubleshooting. There's about a dozen 50-year-old pine trees sitting next to the well, so I don't really know if the well is going to have tree roots in it or what the case may be. It's about 60 years old. It's really old, 5 5/8 inch galvanized casing. So I'll be there shortly, and we'll take a look at it and get this thing all changed out and get these people some water running. They have been without water for so long that they are going to the truck stop to take showers and wash clothes. And I've honestly never heard anybody doing that, so kind of feel for them. So I'm headed out there on a Sunday to get them water running. All right, we are here on the job, and this is what it looks like. Oh, what a mess. So basically, a plumber was here a few months ago, maybe a little bit longer, I don't know. But the customer told me that the plumber charged $3,500 to install that tank and a new tank T and the fittings that they've got going on here. Now, if we take a closer look down in here and we look at this, just this valve screams dangerous. It looks like they took PVC and pushed it and heated it and pushed it over a PEX barb and then put a regular stainless steel band clamp over it to adapt it. So I guess the plumber didn't have the right fittings. And then he used shark bites for everything. There's a shark bite there, one on the other side, one up here. There's a shark bite ball valve right there. So, not the best work in the world, but okay. I'm gonna go ahead now, start ripping it all apart, and we're gonna get this well pump out of here. First things first, move all the trash. One thing's for sure, this thing wasn't gonna float away. It is a PVC to PEX shark bite fitting. Never seen one of those. Okay. First things first, we're going to test for power. Make sure we don't get electrocuted. We still have voltage. Good morning. You need a jacket on.
I'm still wearing the same stuff.
You need a jacket on.
I have not been able to take a shower.
Well, we're gonna get you all hooked up to where you can take a shower here today.
I'm hoping everything is, the well is good, everything's good.
We're gonna find out. We are going to find out.
I've been praying.
I'm gonna go in your basement. Turn the power off. Now I'm headed into the basement. We are going to turn off the breaker, and this is the breakers that we have here, and unfortunately only about half of them are labeled. Now this one here had some tape on it, and it's a double 30, which should be a double 20, but I believe this was the one that powered the well pump. So we're going to turn that off and then go double check our power to make sure I don't get electrocuted. Alright, now, not sure if you can see the meter. I'm going to go back down and test our hot leads, and we get no voltage, so that's good. I'm going to go ahead now and disconnect it all, disconnect the plumbing, and try to break the well seal to where we can lift the pump out. It is cold out here today. It is 37 degrees outside right now. And I have to work over a damn 4-foot concrete wall, or a 3-foot concrete wall. If you look at what they did here with the wires, it's like an old electrician thing where they take them and they bend them into like a horseshoe. I totally hate that, because then you're forced to take the screw all the way out, when in reality all you really need is a straight piece of wire and stick it straight underneath the screw and then tighten it. It just makes it a hassle when it's time to come off. They got the wire going underneath the tank seat. This is all a bunch of mess. Sometimes well seals get frozen on there. Well, just by tapping it, I was able to break it loose. And all we got to do is try to stick the jaw of the hammer down in there, and wiggle it, and get it to bust free. Yeah. Golly. That thing is tight. So in order to attempt to lift the pump out, I have to separate the pipes. And that's the beautiful thing about a shark bite fitting. You can actually disconnect these. But there's a specialty tool that they sell that you have to depress this white ring here, or this cream ring over here, and you have to squeeze it into it. It's like a fork and a fork, and you squeeze it together and you can pull the pipe off. Now there's actually a trick that I do that anybody can do without that specialty tool. You just use a pair of adjustable wrenches, and it won't go over the PVC, but it will go over the PEX. All I do is use this, tap that. Wire wasn't in my way. Just hold that on there like so. There it goes. Okay, just in a bind. 2 bad angles. And then we pull up on this and see what we get. Okay. That is basically what I was worried about. Woo! Okay, just by pulling up on it, I know exactly what the problem is. On the way here, I made the assumption that due to all these trees, we might have a big problem. So just by picking up on the pump, it's not extremely heavy, it's extremely stuck. And why is it stuck? It's probably due to those massive pine trees, and the tree's so close to the well, and the well's over 50 years old, that the tap roots from the trees will go down and they will find where the casing meets the bedrock, and they will start their way and their journey into the well, because it's got water, so roots are always going to seek out water. And then basically they just kind of wad around the pump, and then you can't get it out. Realistically, the only way of getting it out would be to try to get a crane out here or something and just grab a hold of the pipe and try to rip it out. You'd still be a crapshoot doing that, so you just try to justify, your time versus money and, whatever. So I'm going to go ahead now. Luckily, because I had this prediction in the back of my head, I brought my camera today, my brand new camera. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to pull the wire nice and tight so we don't get the camera wrapped around the wire down in the well. And we're going to send the camera down the hole and take a look at it to see if we can actually see the tree roots, or see if maybe the well collapsed, or whatever the case may be. So I'm going to switch gears now, and we're going to send the camera down the hole and see what we find. Hey, that'll kind of work.
Yeah.
That's like perfect. Okie dokie. Let's take a look down this hole. We're going to turn our battery on. screen on. And we are going to journey down the hole. Go ahead. Wire's nice and tight. Oh crap. It's why I hate these things. They put a hole centering ring in there. Damn it. Just gets worse and worse and worse. So people ask me why I don't use torque arresters and hole centering rings. Well, this right here is the exact reason why I don't. Because that is impeding my camera from going down to visualize and inspect what's going on down in the borehole. And because that is in there, I can't do my job. I can't figure out what is clogging this thing up. So unfortunately, the camera's not going to give me any more information. Well, I feel like I have exhausted all my possible resources. So the only other thing that I could do is essentially try to muscle this thing up today and pull on it, shake on it, and see what happens. The ideal solution would be to bring the excavator or crane out here and see if I could put upward pressure on it and leave it for a period of time to see if it would break free.
He's coming.
All right. Oh my God, I got it! Oh my God, I got it!
He's coming if it's real heavy.
I can hear it falling down the well as I move it. I can hear trash falling around it. It's just, I can hear it. That's awesome. Okay, let's continue on. That's great news. Earlier it was like super duper tight. This made my day a lot better.
I'm hoping it's fixable.
If I can get it out, I can fix it. Point blank.
How do you tell if you got water or not?
Huh?
How do you tell if you got water?
I can hear stuff falling down in the well, so whatever was blocking it up could have been trash or whatever the case may be. But if you hear it falling, you hear it hitting something, so you know it's hitting water. Water might be really deep, but gotta do a little bit more research, a little bit more diagnosis on it, but from that, we'll determine whether or not it's fixable.
Okay.
Gotta get it out first.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what we got. I don't want to drop nothing down the hole. Everything's out of my pockets. Yeah. God, this thing's heavy. Yeah. All right. Ooh, that's what was hanging me up. Time to show everybody what we found. All right, so I've got the pump pulled over here. We're connecting it to the back of the golf cart to help me pull it out. And what was hanging me up, the bottom half of the well seal is gone. So if we look here, you have the metal portion on this piece here, you have it, but the other side over here is gone. So this half moon piece is falling down the well, and that's what was trapping the pump. Come on, dog. Stop it. If I holler and say stop, stop. I hate those things. They serve a purpose, but they're more of a hindrance than they are help. She's a deep one. All right. things everywhere. There's the pump. Oh, look at it, broke. Look at it spraying out right there. It's eroded a hole in the brass fitting right there. Look at it, just peeing away. Yep. Okie dokie. You got good pipe. Time for a new pump, new wire. Oh boy. Yeah, that's amazing. So you see how the hole is eroded in the brass fitting? And it's just squirting the water out right there. Right there. It's crazy, ain't it? Now, regardless, the pump wasn't running, so that tells me the wire's broken. So the pump looks so old that we're not even gonna try to reuse it. We're just gonna go ahead and replace it with as much of a hassle that was to get out. They'll be set and good to go. I'm sure somewhere on all this there's gonna be a bad spot of wire. So we're gonna go ahead and cut it all off, reuse the pipe, and put a brand new pump and brand new wire down there and hook it back up and give y'all water for the first time in how long?
Oh, goodness. Well, the water hadn't been good since we got here.
How long have you not had water here? Like
last few weeks.
Okay.
But
You've been home for what, 3 weeks?
3 weeks with no water? Yeah, that's a long time, especially coming up on Christmas.
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna get started on this. So the next step is to cut all the wire and the rope off of the pipe. We're gonna reuse the pipe and put new wire on it and tape it all up. Okay, since the well is a 5 5/8 casing, it's easy to say that the borehole could be 4-inch or the borehole could be 5-inch. Definitely going to be smaller. So instead of using a 4-inch submersible pump like came out, we're going to go ahead and put a 3-inch Submersible Grundfos. This is an SQ200, so it's good for around 200 to 220 feet, which this system is right at 200 feet. Put a stainless steel fitting in the top, 2 marine grade band clamps, taped it up, got my wire splice here. I went ahead and taped it all the way up. Now, if you notice, I did not use any of those round centering rings. These pumps don't need it because they have a soft start feature, so they don't jerk when they kick on. They actually ramp up nice and slow, so there's less chance of the wire ever chafing and going bad. All right, we got our special well seal for 5 5/8 casing. Push this on. Clamps on. Pipe. Get a fitting. Put that on. Burn my leg. Got wire through. Okay. Time to clean up and get this pump dropped in that hole. Okay. Before we put the pump in, since it hasn't been sanitized in who knows how long, and we've had everything on top of the ground, we're gonna go ahead and dump some powdered chlorine down the well. This is about 7 ounces. little bit less than half a bag. Now it's time we put the pump in. Good deal. All we gotta do is just pull and let her go on down. I can smell that chlorine. Good deal. Don't squirt on me. Get the wheels out the way. Turn this. Now all we gotta do is hook up this pipe to that pipe, and we will be good to go. Gotta do a little bit of plumbing and then we'll be set. Okay, so that's gonna come out like so. So we're gonna cut this about right here. It'll be a little bit taller than we need, but it will also give us our directional pipe. We just cut it down here level with the blade. You gotta eyeball it and make a perfect 90. Now, because we're working on a budget, we're going to hook this back up as close to the way it was before, so we don't go over the allotted quote or estimate that I gave yesterday. I could spend another 2 hours here cleaning this out and redoing it, but right now that's not in the budget. These clamps are stupid tight. Okay. Yeah, finally. Gosh. All right. Yeah. Yeah, all right. Now that we've got the plumbing done, I'm gonna go ahead and put my bushing in my well seal. Okay. Bring our wire around. Stick it through here and we'll go ahead and wire up the pressure switch. Back down, working in the hole again. Man, I can smell that chlorine. It's so strong right here. Get their wires, stick them back through it. Kind of burns the nostrils a little bit. Got that one on. Okay, get our lid cover. Pop that on. Give it a turn. Okay. Tighten the well seal bolt. Now, if you remember when we pulled the old well seal out, how the half of the moon was missing from the bottom of the well seal. Now, that moon piece of bottom half of the well seal was actually what was holding up the pump. It was probably sitting down there on one of those plastic hole centering rings I showed you in the camera. And that piece of metal, when I started jerking up and wiggling on it, it fell perfectly vertical and went down like this. If that thing catches at a 45-degree angle in the well, that will trap a pump quicker than anything I've ever seen. Now, why that happens is somebody took these bolts out of the well seal. They sat here and kept unloosening them thinking,
that by taking these off was the right idea, but that was actually the wrong idea. If you're ever going to mess with a well seal like this, all you have to do is just loosen each bolt all the way around this, like one revolution, and then it takes the pressure off of the well seal.
Well, my battery died on me, so I had to plug it back in. But needless to say, to catch you all up, not sure where it died, but I got it all plumbed up. Went ahead and just put me an elbow here, switched it straight over to PEX, wired that up, or hooked that up, and then I wired the pressure switch up. Went and turned the breaker on, and the system went to working. Since we put chlorine in the well, we went ahead and ran the garden hose for about 10 minutes, flushed out all the sediment till the water ran clear, and we turned the hose off, and now they finally have water. Been without water for over 3 weeks, so everybody's happy, everybody's grateful. And it's Sunday. I got a little girl's birthday party to get to, and it's time for me to get home. Well, I got it all taken care of. Hope y'all enjoyed today's content. It was extremely cold. My hands hurt. I'm all done, headed home. Gonna enjoy the rest of my weekend. Thank y'all for watching. If you ain't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. See y'all later.